Hey guys, welcome back to another PoE2 video. This time we're in Act 3, and it's not too long after having beat the, I can't even remember, Jamanra or whatever. Try to block it out of my head because I spent so long on it, but this is a little bit after that, and I kind of wanted to do an update video on the monk and the build I've got going for Act 3. From what little I've seen online, I think it's kind of what everybody's doing with the monk. I'll go through the skills first. I'll go through the tree, and then I'll go through the gear, maybe in that order. We'll see. But yeah, in terms of skills, we still have Killing Palm going. That's just as crucial as ever. However, it is being paired up with Siphoning Strike. Let's look at what those have. So I don't believe that there's been a change in Killing Palm from my previous video. It still is doing 12% of life recovered, as well as a 50% chance to gain an additional charge. Super clutch, that stayed the same. Siphoning Strike, I believe the last video I did, I had it, I was using it. And that is 40% more area damage, 50% less area of effect. I can't really speak on that support gem. So Frozen Locust, pretty useless. I mean, it's on my shift bar, but I haven't really been using it. Falling Thunder, also have not been using it. I'm kind of considering changing this support gem to Tempest Flurry, but we'll see. I did get the item that lets you put a third support gem on a skill for Tempest Flurry. We still have Final Strike. You can do that twice, super clutch, as well as more attack speed, and then also 20% more attack, 25% more attack damage if you're within a meter, and then it scales down up to 3.5. I kind of had to think about that for a while because I was a little worried that my damage would suffer. Luckily, upon reading it more, the gem, it doesn't hinder you, it just provides no bonus if they're more than 3.5. So there's really no point in not running it. Still Herald of Thunder. I do have an amulet that is increasing my spirit, so I was finally able to put a support gem on it. It's a 30% increased mana regeneration while Herald of Thunder is active, so that's great. Storm Wave, I believe that was also in the last one. Still using it for ranged. And I believe that these skills are the same. So Innervate, so 35% of damage is lightning. Attacks gain 35% of damage as lightning when a shocked enemy is killed, which is quite often in this build. And then the skill has 100% more chance to shock, which is phenomenal. Obviously, we're very shock heavy in this. Tempest Spell, pretty much the same as well. Very, very, very useful. Obviously, I don't need to say more about that. 40% more area of effect and 40% less cost. I'm keeping that there right now. I've noticed that when I throw down the bell, my mana takes a decent chunk, so I've kept it there. The big change, which you will see in the gameplay, is the charge staff skill. This thing is just cracked. It charges your staff and then it throws out shockwaves. For that, I've got support attacks gain 25% of damage as extra lightning damage with a hindrance to cold and fire, which don't really care. And then 40% more skill effect duration. So that just means that it's up for longer. I think that that's really clutch. I don't have to keep track of it as much. You use your charges as you go. So you'll see in the gameplay, I'll be kind of running out of charges. On the skill, I'll get charges back and I'll just keep dumping them into it. And that way it just keeps refreshing. I think it's a max of 25 seconds. I can't remember, but that is pretty much the skills for the build. Nothing else. I mean, Tempest Flurry along with Charge Staff and the Bell is pretty much all I'm doing. Storm Wave just until I get some charges going. But that's it for the skills. We'll take a look at the passive tree. Nothing crazy. Still haven't gotten more ascendancy points, so those are still right there. In terms of the bigger nodes for the previous boss, for the Act 2 boss, a 24% increase in evasion. I've taken the evasion and energy shield ones because I felt like I needed them for that, as well as over here. Those are the big nodes. For damage, the nodes, it's leech, elemental damage all the way, obviously, with shock damage, and then just working our way up this way, getting some attack and cast speed increase as well as shock increase. Ultimately, I'm trying to head over here to this kind of lightning tree. But I mean, the passive tree is obviously, I've just been seeing what's shock or lightning damage and just dumping into that. Whenever I need mana, I will look for one of those. Whenever I need any sort of defense, I'll look for that. That's pretty much all I've been doing. And then in terms of gear, first I'll move myself over here. Because I've realized that I've been fucking that up quite a lot. Oh, level 10, nice. Okay, well, I didn't notice that I had that, and so maybe I'll include that at the end. But in terms of gear, we're finally kind of getting somewhere. It's still, our staff is still the same, level 16. It just, I haven't found a staff that increases my lightning damage anywhere near as much as that. I've tried other staffs out, and it hasn't been better. I do have a rune there for increased lightning damage. That's actually probably why it's still so cracked. I got to take a look at that. But I mean, it's doing great. Hopefully I find a better staff soon because it's level 16, but we'll see. I put a socket last video on my helmet. It is finally Dex and Intelligence. My armor is still just Dex. It's the same one as the last video. Still have yet to find anything, but this is important. This is the amulet that gives me the plus 11 to Spirit. So that allows us to run that support gem on the persistent buff. And then I did something different with my ring, just resistance out the ass. This ring I believe is still the same, so it's just increasing lightning damage, evasion, life, and intelligence. The belt I believe is new, so that just increases mana recovery, life, a very flask heavy belt. Flask, it buffs our flasks. These are still the same, I believe. Haven't been able to find a replacement. However, the boots are different. They're now finally intelligence and dexterity, which is great. And it also had a socket, so I did the evasion, armor, and energy shield increase, as well as mana. That's the big difference with our armor right there, and we're really seeing the benefits of it. So I'm gonna take a look at this real quick. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. I thought maybe it would give it, this is, I guess, is 11. Okay. So it's just increasing other these up to level 10, which I'll probably do Tempest Flurry, just because I'm curious to see what I would benefit more from, if it's increasing the buff or increasing the skill. So we'll see, but we'll jump into some gameplay to show the class off, and I will catch you guys on the next update, probably be toward the end of Act 3, or if there's been a big change in the build. But any questions or anything, just let me know in the comments, and I'll keep pumping these out.
I have had my fill of witches for one lifetime.